Alright guys, this is Army Man Pants, and this is my second time of doing this. And the first time I wasted about an hour, but I'm not going to go into detail with that. Anyway, let's just get into the first part of this podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to leave a like, comment below your thoughts about anything that we're discussing, and make sure to leave or favorite this video if you really do enjoy that, and subscribe if you do enjoy that much. So, we'll get into our first topic straight off the bat. Is false advertisement a good thing for gaming? Now, recently I picked up a game called Destiny. Most of you should have heard about it. If not, I'm quite surprised and you must be new to gaming. But anyway, Destiny is a game developed by Bungie, aka the same people that made games like Halo 2, 3, 1, whatever you want to call it. Halo Combat Evolved, I'm sorry. So, Bungie have made this game, Destiny. And they want to make it the next Halo, basically. So what do? They want to lure the people in so they buy this product. So how do they do that? They advertise the crap out of the game in any way they can to sell their product. So this includes them going as far as saying Destiny will be this big open world where you can discover 4 different planets and you can go from corner to corner in this detail and discover all these new secrets. So by that point it sounded really cool to me. So I checked out the gameplay. I thought it looked pretty cool. The beta came around. I tried out the beta and I was like, yeah, obviously they don't want to give us too much detail into what the full game's going to be like, so they only restricted us to a few levels and stuff. I didn't get too long to play that. I think I only played about maybe 5-6 hours of that. So, but it kept me interested, which is cool. And I apologize if you hear rain in the background. It's just started to rain all of a sudden as soon as I start my podcast. Anyway, back to track. So, the beta kept me interested in Destiny. So when the full game released, I was like, yeah, Destiny, September 17th, yeah, baby. Go down to the store, grab my copy, get back home, plug it in. Don't plug it in, throw the disc in. I download it. I get ready, I get hyped, I get some food, I get some drink, I get my controller ready, make sure it's charged, I'm ready to play. Start it up, same cutscene as the beta, so obviously not everyone's going to try the beta, so they didn't want to change it just for the beta players' sake, which is fair enough. So I played through the same thing again. By the way, you didn't get to keep your beta players, so which didn't disappoint me too much. So do the same thing, same missions that they gave us on the beta throughout Earth. So that took me about another 5-6 hours. And then I started some PvP, and PvP is cool. PvP, man, if you haven't tried PvP on Destiny, I definitely recommend that you do that. Anyway, I start leveling up. I get to about level 13, and I'm starting go through my moon missions, and then I start my Venus missions at level 13. But I wanted to make it a bit easier for myself, so I did some PvP and got some bounties. And I was like, hold on, I don't want to just focus on the story. I want to do this free roam that they're talking about. So I check where I can do the free roam, and it looks like there's this thing called patrol where I just go around the map and just do the missions. So I'm like, yeah, this sounds awesome. Free roam around the whole thing. Man, there must be so much stuff I haven't discovered. I get in. I get in the same place where you start on all the other missions. And I was like, huh, okay. I run around and I get these little objectives that I have to do, whether it be kill these guys and gather loot off their body, or just defend this area for a certain amount of time. And I was like, huh, this is sort of like the missions I've been doing, except I stay in the world after I finish it, instead of going back to orbit. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, well, what the hell am I doing? This isn't free roam. So I was like, screw that. And I stopped doing those missions and I just tried to discover the world, which I was also quite disappointed by, because it felt like the only places that I could go to were the areas that they designed for you to do missions. And apart from that, there's a couple of caves you can go into where there's these really extreme high level enemies that will just obliterate you. So basically, they don't want you to go down there. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm not quite sure. But they felt like the only areas I hadn't discovered without doing the missions that I'd already done. And apart from that, it was just the same places that I'd already been to. So I was disappointed. But, so anyway, I continued doing my Venus missions and I finished Mars eventually. Finished the game. Spoiler alert here, you can just click off the video right now. Okay. The only thing you get is a gun. And you get a mediocre ending that I don't even remember because it wasn't even that good, to be honest. I just remember getting this gun that was alright, it's got some cool stuff, but could be better. I mean, a gun? Like, they could have went like Michael Bay on me and had like all these explosions coming into the tower and like I don't know, you'd have to do like this big defend mission before the Hive come in and destroy the last remaining. Like, doesn't that alone sounds a lot cooler than you just going back to the tower saying, "Yeah, I killed these three statues, and that was it." Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Here, have a gun. We've got nothing else for you, so roll credits. And that's basically Destiny's ending in a nutshell, to be quite frank. The story was mediocre the whole way through, so I wasn't overly enjoying it the whole way through. It just felt like a big grind, and Peter Dinklage or your ghost in your hand would be like, "Hey, is that a door? I need to open that." But I'm pretty sure that's about 3 waves of enemies, right? Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so that's about Destiny's story the whole way through. And then I get to the end. Was expecting this awesome boss fight or something to happen, or a plot twist or something. But they've got DLC packs coming out, so I don't know if they're going to expand on the story. I'll check that out when it comes out. But the full game that we got right now, PvP, awesome. Try it out. Strikes and raids, awesome. You should try it out. The raids got these gaming mechanics that we were promised from the start, but we don't get it until the last fucking bit. And I was pissed off at that. But I'm not going to complain because we did get those gaming mechanics we were promised. Like awesome ways to set up your missions for all of the players to work around. So we only get that in raids, which sucks. Strikes are like mini raids, so to speak, but they're still cool to do with your fire team. Um, PvP is good. Went over that. Story. If you're into story and you want this game and you're getting it so you can do the story, you're going to be greatly disappointed, unfortunately. You will not have as much fun as you think you're going to have. To put it blunt, I wasn't really too happy overall with the story, but I mean, don't get me wrong, Destiny was a good game overall. I just think with the false advertisement of pushing this idea that it's all open world and you can discover all this stuff, get all these weapons and stuff, which you do. You get your gear at the end of the missions, which is cool. I like that. But it's just not the game that I felt like we were promised. So, is false advertisement a good thing? From a company standpoint, it is, because they sell their game. From a gamer standpoint, from my perspective, not so much. So with that being said, I want to know your guys' thoughts, so leave your thoughts and comments below in the description. With that being said, let's just move on to our next topic, which is, should games that aren't fully developed be paid for to play? And I'm talking about games like DayZ Standalone, games like The Forest, etc., etc. You see, a few years ago, this idea of pre-developed games that aren't going to be released for the next few years, but you have to pay for to play it in like an alpha state. That never happened. Ever. And it wasn't until recently. I think DayZ's probably started the trend. I'm not going to point the finger at DayZ. I'm just saying DayZ is the biggest game that people have bought in a pre-alpha state. I think they've made millions of dollars. But is it good to encourage gamers to buy and pour their money into these types of games before they're even fully released? From a company standpoint, it's a good thing because gamers are giving them money, and with this money, they can develop more things in the game. So things like cars in DayZ, they can develop that, and they can develop more types of cars and stuff like that with more money they've got, because they can spend that towards more hardware for their developers to use. So, I'm not a I'm not a developer. I don't know how they make games, but I know that the more money they have, the more stuff they can spend to put into their game. And it's the same for the forest. Put more money in, they'll put more features in for you to use. It's as simple as that. But from a gamer's standpoint, it can vary. People might really like the game and say, "Yeah, I'll spend my money. It's not that much." And then they play the game. And then there's other people that pay money. They think the game looks cool, and they go, "Hey, I spent my money on DayZ a year ago. I was expecting this big game to have a lot more content in it by now. I've waited a year." And I don't think they realize that it takes years to develop a game fully. Like, I'm not a developer, like I say, but it takes years to develop a game to the point where it's fully released. And because of that, people that pour in money at early stages of the game feel like they're getting ripped off, or that their money isn't being well used towards the game, and they feel like they deserve their money back because they don't see a difference in the game, and what they wanted hasn't been added within a certain amount of time. But I think, to be honest, I think if you spent your money and you're not happy, you're bad. Because in most cases, the companies tell you, look, you're going to be experiencing bugs. You're going to have problems within the game. It's in a pre-alpha state. If you want to spend money, that's fine, but it's your call. You will not receive a refund, blah, blah, blah. Which is a fair point. But I don't think half the people realize this. They need to, if they're interested in a game that's coming out, like a pre-release game, they need to say, "Hey, what's in this game? What's coming out in the game soon? And what bugs are there at the moment that haven't been fixed and I'll be experiencing if I get this game?" Those are the three things they need to take into consideration before they just go, "Hey man, this looks cool. I'll just throw $20 here, throw $20 there. Oh man, this is shit. Why did I spend money?" When the developer even says themselves, you're going to be experiencing bugs. We can't tell you what specific bugs you'll experience, but you'll be experiencing them. If you go onto someone's video and you click on it before you buy this game, they can give you the rundown on what's going on with the game, what they're going to be bringing out, and what issues they're having with the game at that time. And I think that's the best thing that you can do in that case. So my advice to you is, see if you're liking the look of a game, but it's not a fully released or fully developed game, but they can allow you to play it if you pay for it. Before you spend your money, definitely take into consideration what state it's in. If it's in alpha, if it's in beta, if it's got major game-breaking bugs that will crash the game, if it's got minor bugs that really screw with you sometimes and they all clump up. and you can't do anything about it. Or if it runs completely smoothly and they're just waiting for more content. You need to take into those things into consideration. So, should games that aren't fully developed be paid for? I say yes, but take into consideration what you're paying for. That's all I've got to say on that one. Alright, with that being said, you can leave your thoughts and comments about that opinion below. So, yeah. Um, On to our next topic. Are games like Call of Duty and Battlefield becoming too common and too repetitive? What I mean by that is that are they coming out too quickly and they just feel like the same game, like a reskin, like a repackage? Just feels like you're getting the same game, different maps, and different guns or something like that. And you're damn right. But at the same time, are they still making money? You're damn right. You look at a game like Call of Duty, right? You go back to Modern Warfare 1, popular game, probably many people's favourite in the franchise. You look at a game like World at War, everyone loved it. Everyone thought it was a cool idea. Everyone hell loved the system that everyone's limbs went flying off when you shot them in the leg. As gory as it was, and as brutal as it sounds, people like that wanted to pay for a game where they could feel like they were in a war, you know? They wanted to pay for this awesome first-person shooter. So, what the hell was that? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, they wanted to pay for a game that was in first person, that gave them the immersion that they were in a war. And that's what Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty Modern Warfare did. And then they did Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And it still made money. And then they did Black Ops, which is basically the sequel to World at War. And then they did Modern Warfare 3. And then they did Black Ops 2. And you get the picture. They do the same thing, the same games, without any new ideas. They just add new maps, they throw in new weapons, but it's still successful. People still go out and pay it. So are games like Battlefield and Call of Duty becoming too repetitive? And they're not just the two same games that have the same shit in them every time they come out. Like I'm a fan of Battlefield. I'm not so much of a fan of Call of Duty anymore. But it's not because it's the same thing. I just think I've because I enjoy more open world experience, I feel like Battlefield's got bigger maps for me to have fun in. Um, and But even so, with that being said, games like Battlefield also, they're the same thing. You look at Battlefield 4, then you look at Battlefield 3, and you go, what's different? You go, not much. Battlefield Hardline's coming out soon, and that's looking pretty the same. But EA have said that it's different, but it's the same concept, first person shooter, just with a different style. It's like a reskin. Now, I could be wrong, because I haven't played Battlefield Hardline. I played the beta, felt the same. Didn't feel like a whole new game to me. I've heard that the campaign's meant to be good. Haven't played it, so I can't say. But it's looking like and feeling like the same game that Battlefield 4 was, and Battlefield 4 felt exactly like Battlefield 3. So you're getting the idea now that these games are the same. They are repetitive, but people pay for them, whether you like it or not. Call of Duty Ghosts. People hated it. People loved it. And people bought it. Everyone bought it. The people that hated it bought it. But the people that liked it bought it, and they're still playing it. Same with Advanced Warfare. The people that hate Ghost, they might still go and buy Call of Duty Advanced Warfare though. They might still hate that. But the fact is they've already spent their money on the game, so the company's already making money off of you. So there's not much you can do. You can just sit back and go, well, they got me again, you know? And that's the thing with games like COD and Battlefield. And it's not just games like that. It's games like FIFA, NBA, the WWE franchise. They're all the same games, but people still buy them. And that's where I'm just going to leave that. It's up to you whether you want to buy it or not. But the fact is, whether you're not going to buy it or not, it's not going to make a difference. Other people are still going to buy it, and the company's still going to make money, and it's still going to be the same thing over and over. It's just how it is now, and it's making money either way. So that's all I got to say about that. Okay. With that being said, you can leave your thoughts and opinions on that topic, and we can discuss about that. If you've got anything to add or to say, or if you disagree with my opinion altogether, that's fine. Just let me know. Okay, so the final topic that we're going to leave with is games you should be looking out for in late 2014, mainly November, December area, and 2015 all the way through. Well, what we know so far that's coming in 2015. First things first, we're going to start with the obvious one, Grand Theft Auto 5. Uh, Grand Theft Auto 5's broken so many records in terms of how much money it's made. I think they've made over $2 billion off Grand Theft Auto 5, so that is impressive. I played through Grand Theft Auto 5. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the heist. The game's been shat on because of the fact that we don't have heists online. And I get it. It's been a year. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, Rockstar are giving you free content, and whether you appreciate it or not, or you don't, or if you don't care because it's not heist, just wait it out. How much longer can it really be? If you've waited a year for a heist and you're still playing GTA and you keep complaining about it, you're not going to be waiting another year. I know that for certain. And if we are waiting another year, Jesus Christ, it's a long damn wait, and I don't think we'll be getting it if it doesn't come out within another year. But I'd say we'll be getting it out like sometime alongside the same time that we get the next gen version. So that's just my opinion on that one. But yeah, if you haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5, with online aside, the single player is amazing. You have so much fun on that. The story alone, it's not as good as games like The Last of Us, but it's got a good story that will keep you interested throughout the whole thing. The character progression now is good. So you'll see like Franklin, Michael, and Trevor, which are the three protagonists in the game, if you don't already know. You'll see them develop as friends and as enemies even amongst themselves in some aspects, which you'll find out later if you haven't played. But yeah, it's a good game. But with that aside, we've got all these new games coming out to keep your eye on, and one of those games is probably going to become one of my new favorite games, if not my favorite, and that is Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. If you guys haven't seen the gameplay for this, go check it out now. It looks amazing. The graphics, the detail, the concept of the game. I just like open world RPGs. Games like Fallout, Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind even, all the Elder Scrolls games, all the Fallout games. It's just any open world RPG. I'm not so much a fan of MMORPGs, but Witcher 3 is a single player open world role playing game. So that is my favorite genre of gameplay. Rumor has it it's 3 times bigger than Skyrim, which is huge if that is true. Like, Jesus Christ, that'll take me like 3 hours to get from point A to point B. And I wouldn't even have discovered like 1/8, maybe even 1/10 of the world. Because it took me like at least 16 hours of traveling, like back and forth, north, south, east, west on Skyrim just to discover all the locations. Like 16 hours of just me walking around. You know how long that takes? 16 hours. And that's just me walking around, not even doing anything without a purpose. And you want to tell me, if The Witcher 3 is 3 times bigger, you can bet that I won't be coming out that often, which is sad. but it's probably true not just in my case, because I'm sure many other people want to discover what The Witcher has to offer, and they'll be playing hours of that. I played a little bit of Witcher 2, but I'm not too common with the lore, so please don't batter on me if I make videos on that and I sound like a complete idiot because I don't know what I'm talking about, and I can't reference any monsters or any of the beasts that Gareth slays. But anyway, keep your eyes out for Witcher 3 because that looks amazing. There's three Ubisoft games that we know that are coming out 2014, 2015. Two of them are coming out the end of this year in 2014, which is Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity. Far Cry 4 is November 18th, and Assassin's Creed Unity, I'm not quite sure. I think it's October 10th, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But both of those games look awesome. Assassin's Creed Unity, I'll be getting my hands on for sure. Same with Far Cry. Assassin's Creed Unity looks like it's done a lot of work to its free running system. It looks a lot more smooth, and it looks like it just runs well to get from point A to point B in general. You can just get there a lot easily, more slick, more smooth. Animations are done superbly by the looks of things, which is awesome. And the same goes for Far Cry 4. Uh, if you look at the gameplay of that, you see like someone or your character jump out of his car into the enemy's car and knife them out. And that's awesome. That's an awesome animation. That wasn't in Far Cry 3. And it's just those tiny additions that make a game feel like it's just can run more smoothly and keep you immersed in the world. And Far Cry 4 is looking stunning. When I went back and played Far Cry 3 not too long ago, when I first got that, I'd never seen a game look so gorgeous. And now I look at it and I go, yeah, it's alright. And then I look at Far Cry 4 and I go, wow, the resolution and everything. And it doesn't matter. I'm not going to start a console war or anything. It's just going to look good on all consoles and PC. So whether you're getting it on an Xbox One, a PS4, PS3, or an X360, or PC, it's going to look good. It's going to look good. It's going to look better on next gen and PC than PS3 and Xbox 360, but that's to be expected. Um, Actually, Assassin's Creed Unity is coming out before Far Cry 4, and that's exclusive to next gen and PC, so you can't get that one on PS3, but you do get the Assassin's Creed Rogue, which I probably won't be getting, to be honest. But anyway, those are the two other games. And the other game that's coming out in 2015 from Ubisoft is The Crew. Um, Everyone's been talking about it. Forza Horizon 2 came out on Xbox One, and which I don't have. I've got a PS4, but man, it looks amazing. I think PS4 got the Drive Club, but I'm not going to get that, to be honest. It looks good. It just isn't my type of game. When it comes to racing games, I want that like feel that I can go to the places that I'm looking at. And Forza Horizon 2 lets you do that. So if you've got an Xbox One, Forza Horizon 2, get it. Same with Drive Club. If you're just into racing games, Drive Club is the best looking game I've seen. Same with Forza Horizon 2. They both just look amazing. But The Crew is looking good, and it's not a console exclusive, which I like, so you'll be able to get it either way, and it's going to look good on all consoles. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it is coming to PC, my bad. It got a beta for PC, so you get to drive around all of the United States with your friends or without your friends. You don't need your friends. Who needs friends when you got a car and you've got the whole United States to explore, right? Nah, but it's looking good. So I don't think I'm gonna pre-order it. I think I'm just gonna wait for the reviews to come in for that one because I'll just see how it plays out. But it's looking good, so you might want to keep your eyes out for that one too. There is another Arkham game coming out. If you've not played an Arkham game before, I'm surprised. Arkham games are good. The new one, Batman Arkham Knight, coming out July 2014. I mean 2015, sorry. July 2015. Sorry for my wrong year debut of the game. But yeah, I played Arkham City and Arkham Origins, and luckily PlayStation Plus users get Arkham Asylum this month, so I'll be getting my hands on that. Uh, the Arkham games are just really good. The story's good. The side missions are good. You have fun with the combat. It's just a good game. They're just good games. And the fact that it's a huge open world now, and you've got the Batmobile in Arkham Knight, it just shows you how far like a game from like 4 years can evolve into this huge open world from just this tiny island on which was known as Arkham Asylum, and it's just evolved into a huge open expansive world that just continues to grow, which is awesome. So we'll see what turns out of that. And for you zombie lovers out there, we've got Dying Light and Dead Island 2. So Dying Light, imagine Dead Island with parkour and better graphics. It's like, Dead Island's already looking good, and now we got Dying Light, and you're telling me that I can like run on buildings and shit? Hell yeah! So it's sounding good, and it's got this day and night cycle which Dead Island 2 doesn't have, and basically during the day you can get from point A to point B if you need to gather your resources or survival plans or whatever you've got. You can do that during the day, but if you think about doing it at night, it's going to become that's when parkour is going to be essential for you, because um, the zombies become really strong at night and they will kill you like really quickly, especially when they're in groups. And that's the power of next gen and PC. It just it can load so many zombies on the screen at once now. So they're going to be a lot more of a danger in big groups on Dying Light. So keep your eyes out for your zombies at night, because they'll be hunting your ass down for sure. Dead Island 2, on the other hand, it's your typical Dead Island game, set in Los Angeles, which is awesome, by the way. In Hollywood and stuff like that. California. So that's looking good. Haven't seen too much gameplay compared to what we've seen of the demos of Dying Light. So we'll see what... I've seen a couple of demos from Dead Island 2, but it just looks like a little area where people are just shooting the zombies. Excuse me, I just got a Steam message. But yeah, so Dead Island 2 is looking like your typical Dead Island game, just set in a different location. 8-player co-op though. I think Dying Light's only 4, so 8-player co-op is your benefit of getting Dead Island 2. So that is cool. I don't have 8 friends, or 7 friends, sorry, so I won't be playing with friends, but I'm not going to complain about that. Nah, but if you're into zombie games, either of the two, if not, you get both of them. They're both going to be good. And there's the last one that I was going to talk about, by Ubisoft. You probably already know what it is because I haven't mentioned it yet. Tom Clancy's The Division. From the company that bought you Watch Dogs, aka dumbed down graphics. But we've been promised in The Division that this will not be the case. The developer says that with Watch Dogs, they had to dumb down the graphics so the PS3, so it could run on the PS3 and Xbox 360, because they couldn't do that whilst running what it was trying to do for the PS4 and stuff. But I'm not quite sure why they just didn't make it as good as it was and then just dumb down the graphics for PS3 and Xbox 360, not dumb down the games on all platforms. But luckily, the PC community found the codes for what they used at E3. Um, so yeah, that's solved, but only if you're on PC, of course. But apparently that won't be happening with the Division. But it looks amazing anyway, whether it gets dumbed down or not, and they stick to their promise. Um, I'm a fan of Fallout, so this looks like my MMO third person Fallout crossed with like Borderlands, I guess, because it's got that shows what how much damage you're taking off and stuff, which I think's cool. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Division as it progresses towards its launch, and we'll see if we're getting any dumbed down graphics, and we'll see what they add. In terms of the story for the Division, I've heard that it's told through like a device, and like you kind of get up your device, and it's sort of like when you're watching that trailer and that orange train comes up, and it's telling you the story of what happened there. And if that's how the story's told, and that's how it's going to progress the whole way through, I'm not quite sure if you should get it if you want the story only. Because it's not looking too promising in terms of that. But we'll see. We'll see what it turns into. I'm not going to say anything hypocritical right now. Um, but if I've left any other games that that are going to be coming out 2015 or even 2014, make sure to leave that in the comments and leave which favorite game you are hyped for. You can leave a top 5 list, you can just leave a top 3, or just one if you only care about one game in particular. Um, okay, so for all you PS4 guys, yes, I know. Little Big Planet 3, there you go. I've said that one for you guys already. That is coming out, so don't worry about that. There, we won't get complaining from that. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss out something, but you guys can just fill me in on that. Anyway, guys, that is a wrap. If you stayed this far, thank you, because I tried to record this the first time and it took me about the same time, so I wasted all that time because I couldn't hear my voice and stuff like that. Just had audio issues, but we're all good now. So thank you for sticking through to this point. If you enjoyed this, if you the stream, sorry guys, if you enjoyed my podcast, make sure to show some support. Leave a comment below your thoughts. You can like this video if you want some more podcasts. Also comment if you want me to discuss anything in another podcast video, and I will do so happily. With that being said, if you really enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, and I'll keep you notified when I have another podcast, which should be pretty often. I'll be keeping my podcasts as fresh as I can and as often as I can keep them. So, yeah. So, with that being said, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, favorite the video if you enjoyed it that much and you want to watch it again and again and again, or show a friend. It's up to you. Anyway, I've been Army Man Pants. Thanks for sticking. That was a horrible outro. I probably won't even edit that out. You guys can just listen to that. I'm Army Man Pants. This is my first episode of my podcast series. Stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for sticking around. Alright, bye.